In a world where words seem to lose their value and superficiality dominates, an important question arises. Is it possible to show our value without saying a single word? According to the ancient philosophy of Stoicism, the answer is a resounding yes. Here are some ways to do this. Number 1. Value without words. In today's world, words often lose their value amid the noise and superficiality of social interactions. Social media and the constant need for validation can create an environment where a person's true value is obscured by appearances and empty gestures. However, it is possible to show your worth without saying a single word, and a powerful way to do this is through actions, as taught by Stoicism. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that values virtue, wisdom, and self-control, teaches us that a person's value lies not in what they say, but in what they do. Actions are authentic reflections of someone's character and values. When we live by our principles and demonstrate consistency in our actions, we show our worth in quiet but profound ways. For example, imagine a situation at work where there is a crisis. Instead of talking about how you can help or bragging about your skills, you simply take action. You take the initiative, solve problems, support your colleagues, and remain calm. These actions speak louder than any speech or promise. They show that you are trustworthy, competent, and resilient. Likewise, in personal relationships, it is possible to demonstrate your value without words. Actions like being present and caring, respecting others' boundaries, keeping your promises, and being available in difficult times are tangible ways to show how much you value and respect those around you. These actions create a lasting impact, quietly building trust and respect. Stoicism also teaches us to focus on what we can control. Although we cannot control the opinions or actions of others, we can control how we react and behave. This internal control is a powerful demonstration of personal worth. By maintaining our composure in adverse situations and acting in accordance with our values, we show the world that we are steadfast, dignified, and trustworthy. In short, in today's world, where words can be superficial and easily forgotten, it is actions that truly reveal a person's true worth. Living according to Stoic principles, demonstrating courage, self-control, and virtue through our daily actions is an effective way to show our worth without having to say a single word. Number 2. Prayer and actions. The Stoics, followers of Stoic philosophy, deeply believe that true courage must be demonstrated through actions, not just words. For them, talking about courage or proclaiming bravery was insignificant if it was not accompanied by concrete actions that reflected these qualities. This philosophy emphasizes that the value of words is limited, while actions have a lasting impact and reveal the true essence of a person. The Stoics taught that we should focus on what is within our control. This idea is central to the practice of courage according to Stoicism. The external world is often chaotic and unpredictable, and trying to control or change what is beyond our reach can be frustrating and fruitless. Instead, Stoic courage is accepting what we cannot change and focusing our efforts on what we can control: our own attitudes, responses, and actions, self-control and self-valuation. In Stoicism, self-esteem is seen as a crucial element that is completely within our control. Self-worth does not depend on external validation, but rather on the way we live our lives and maintain our principles. Courage, in this context, is being true to yourself, even when doing so is difficult or unpopular. For example, imagine a situation where you are pressured to act against your principles in the workplace. Stoic courage is not in giving a grand speech about ethics, but in standing firm and acting in accordance with your values, even if it means facing negative consequences. This silent but firm action demonstrates true and lasting courage. Action in times of adversity. True courage shines in times of adversity. For the Stoics, facing difficulties with serenity and firmness is a supreme test of character. In crisis situations, where many may feel paralyzed by fear or uncertainty, courageous action involves making considered decisions and remaining calm. Think about a natural disaster or a family emergency. The courage here is not in words of comfort or empty promises, but in acting quickly, helping those in need, making rational decisions and remaining calm in the midst of chaos. These actions are powerful testaments to courage and resilience. Practical examples of Stoic courage. Maintain integrity. If a coworker asks you to participate in an unethical activity, the courage is in refusing, even if it could harm your professional relationships. Support someone in need. When a friend or family member faces a crisis, courage manifests itself in being present, offering practical help and emotional support without expecting recognition. Persist in the face of personal challenges. Whether overcoming an illness, dealing with loss, or facing financial difficulties, courage lies in continuing to fight and seek solutions, even when the future seems uncertain. In all of these situations, the essence of Stoic courage is acting based on one's own values and principles, maintaining focus on what is within our control and serenely accepting what we cannot change. Thus, through consistent and thoughtful actions, we demonstrate a courage that not only speaks louder than words, but also transforms the way we live our lives and inspire others around us. Number 3. Self-valuation. Self-worth, according to Stoic philosophy, is a fundamental concept that places emphasis on the intrinsic value of each individual, regardless of external approval. The Stoics taught that a person's true value lies not in how others perceive them, but in how they live their life, the virtues they practice, and the actions they take. This concept is a powerful antidote to the insecurity and constant need for validation that we often encounter in modern society. Independence from external approval. Resilience in the face of rejection and failure. Rejections and failures are inevitable in life, but the Stoics teach that they do not diminish our worth. Instead, they are opportunities for growth and self-discovery. Every challenge overcome and every failure faced with dignity contributes to strengthening our character. Imagine you applied for a job and were rejected. Instead of seeing it as a reflection of your personal worth, Stoicism teaches you to see rejection as a chance to reflect, learn, and improve. Perhaps there are skills to be developed or a new direction to be explored. Your ability to persevere, learn from experience, and keep moving forward is what truly defines your value. Self-valuation practices. Self-knowledge. Take time to reflect on your qualities and virtues. Recognize your strengths and areas for improvement without harsh judgment. Practicing virtues. Intentionally practice Stoic virtues such as honesty, courage, wisdom, and justice in your daily actions. Mindfulness. Be present and aware of your reactions and behaviors. This helps you align your actions with your inner values. Resilience. View rejections and failures as opportunities for growth. Maintain the Stoic perspective that personal worth is constant and not determined by external events. Self-worth is an ongoing internal journey. According to Stoicism, your true worth is defined by how you live your life, the virtues you practice, and the actions you take. It does not depend on the approval or recognition of others. By focusing on your principles and maintaining resilience in the face of rejection and failure, you will cultivate solid, lasting self-worth that not only strengthens your own confidence but also inspires and positively influences those around you. In the age of social media, it's easy to fall into the trap of measuring our worth by the number of likes, comments, or followers we have. However, this external validation is ephemeral and often superficial. The Stoics remind us that our self-worth must be independent of these external metrics. What really matters is our own perception of value, based on our principles and actions. For example, imagine you're working hard on a creative project that doesn't get much attention or recognition. Stoicism teaches that the value of your work is not diminished by the lack of external applause. If you know that you did your best, that you dedicated yourself, and that the project reflects your skills and values, then it is valuable in itself. Virtues and actions as measures of value. The Stoics believe that a person's worth is deeply rooted in the virtues they practice daily. Virtues such as honesty, courage, wisdom, and justice are pillars of Stoic philosophy. Practicing these virtues, consistently and intentionally, is what truly defines a person's worth. For example, being honest in all your interactions, even when it is difficult or unpopular, demonstrates a commitment to the truth that is invaluable. The courage to face challenges, the wisdom to make thoughtful and fair decisions, and the justice to treat others fairly. All of these actions and choices reflect an internal value that is independent of external recognition. Number 4. Dignity in relationships. Dignity in relationships is a fundamental concept in Stoicism, which emphasizes the importance of living according to our values and principles, regardless of external circumstances. Presenting yourself with dignity is not in the clothes we wear or the places we go, but in our daily actions and choices. The way we treat ourselves and behave defines how others perceive and treat us. Actions and choices that reflect dignity. True dignity manifests itself through the actions and choices we make daily. In the context of relationships, this means acting with integrity, respect, and consideration for both ourselves and others. For example, keeping your promises, being punctual, listening carefully, and responding with empathy are ways to demonstrate dignity. Imagine a scenario where you are in a romantic relationship and your partner frequently cancels plans at the last minute. Instead of reacting with anger or passivity, you choose to have an open conversation about how this affects you and set clear boundaries. This approach not only demonstrates respect for yourself, but it also communicates to your partner that you expect to be treated with consideration. Self-respect as the basis of dignity. Treating yourself with respect is essential to maintaining dignity. This starts with valuing your time, energy, and well-being. When you respect yourself, you set standards and boundaries that guide how others should treat you. For example, saying no to commitments that overwhelm your schedule or don't align with your values is a way of respecting yourself. Another aspect of self-respect is taking care of yourself physically and emotionally. This may include maintaining a healthy sleep routine, balanced diet, regular exercise, and time for hobbies and personal interests. When you take care of yourself, you show the world that you value yourself and deserve to be treated with respect. Communication and behavior. The way you communicate and behave in relationships is also crucial to maintaining dignity. Assertive communication, where you express your needs and feelings clearly and respectfully, is essential. Avoiding passive or aggressive behaviors and opting for a balanced approach helps maintain healthy and respectful relationships. For example, if a friend constantly makes jokes that you find offensive, approaching the situation in a calmly assertive way, explaining how you feel and asking them to stop, is a dignified way to deal with the problem. This shows that you respect yourself and expect to be treated the same way. The importance of consistency. Consistency in your actions and choices is vital to building and maintaining dignity in relationships. People around you will notice if you stick to your values and principles, even in challenging situations. Being consistent in your integrity, honesty, and respect establishes a solid foundation of trust and admiration. For example, if you value honesty, maintaining this practice even when it is difficult or unfavorable shows that you are trustworthy and worthy of respect. This consistency strengthens your relationships, as others will know they can count on you to act fairly and with integrity. Dignity and limits. Setting and maintaining healthy boundaries is an essential component of dignity. Clear boundaries help protect your emotional and physical well-being and communicate to others what is acceptable and what is not. Knowing when and how to set these boundaries and maintaining them firmly is a sign of respect for yourself and others. For example, if someone constantly tries to invade your personal time or space, it's important to communicate respectfully but firmly that you need time for yourself. Maintaining these boundaries shows that you value your own well-being and expect others to do the same. Dignity in relationships goes beyond superficial appearances and is based on actions and choices that reflect respect and integrity. Treating yourself with respect and setting clear boundaries are key to ensuring that others also treat you with dignity. By living by your values and principles, you build relationships based on mutual respect and admiration, creating a solid foundation for meaningful, lasting connections. Number 5. Limit accessibility. In the context of human relations and Stoic philosophy, limiting accessibility is a powerful strategy for increasing your perceived value and maintaining your dignity. Not always being available to everyone at any time is not an act of disdain, but rather a conscious practice of self-worth and time management. By valuing your time and personal interests, you teach others to do the same. The importance of selective availability. Being always available can often lead to a devaluation of your time and energy. If you are constantly within everyone's reach, you may be seen as someone who doesn't have clear priorities or who doesn't value their own time. Selective availability, on the other hand, communicates that your time is precious and that you are committed to your own interests and goals. For example, imagine that you are always available to respond to work messages outside of business hours. This can lead your colleagues to believe that you are always available, decreasing the perceived value of your personal time. By setting clear limits, like turning off notifications after a certain time, you demonstrate that your rest time and personal activities are equally important. The presence of quality. Being meaningfully present when needed is more valuable than being available all the time. When you consciously choose the moments in which you dedicate yourself to others, your presence becomes more impactful and meaningful. This applies to both personal and professional relationships. For example, in a romantic relationship, instead of constantly being physically present, you can choose specific moments to be fully present and engaged. Planning a meaningful date where you dedicate yourself exclusively to your partner creates valuable memories and strengthens the bond, more than a continuous but superficial presence. Valuing your time and personal interests. Limiting your accessibility allows you to invest more time in your own interests and personal growth. This practice not only enriches your life, but also increases your attractiveness to others. People who have passion, hobbies, and interests of their own are seen as more interesting and well-rounded. Dedicating time to your personal interests, whether learning a new language, playing a sport, or developing an artistic skill, shows that you value your growth and well-being. This investment in yourself not only increases your self-esteem, but also shows others that you are a balanced and self-sufficient person. Establishing accessibility limits. Setting and maintaining clear boundaries is key to limiting your accessibility effectively. This may involve communicating your availability clearly and respectfully, both at work and in your personal relationships. For example, in the work environment, you can inform your team about your available hours for meetings and respond to emails, making it clear that outside of these times you will be focused on other activities. This not only helps manage expectations, but also promotes a more balanced and productive work environment. Psychological and emotional benefits. Limiting your accessibility also has significant psychological and emotional benefits. Being constantly available can lead to burnout and stress. By setting limits, you protect your mental and emotional health, allowing yourself to recharge and maintain a state of well-being. The practice of saying no when necessary is an important aspect of this process. We are often driven to say yes to please others or avoid conflict, but this can result in overwhelm and resentment. Learning to say no assertively and respectfully is crucial to maintaining your emotional health and valuing your own time. Creating anticipation and mystery. One of the advantages of limiting your accessibility is creating anticipation and mystery. When you're not always available, people tend to value the time they spend with you more. This is particularly relevant in romantic relationships, where constant availability can lead to overfamiliarity and loss of interest. For example, by not being available to answer every call or immediately respond to every message, you create a sense of expectation and desire. This doesn't mean playing emotional games, but rather balancing your presence so that both parties value the time shared more. Limiting accessibility is a fundamental practice to increase your perceived value and maintain your dignity in relationships. By valuing your time and personal interests, you not only demonstrate self-worth, but you also teach others to respect your limits. Selective availability, quality presence, and creating anticipation are strategies that strengthen your relationships and promote greater balance in your life. Through this approach, you can cultivate more meaningful and authentic connections based on mutual respect and reciprocal appreciation. Thank you very much for staying with us until the end of this video. Your dedication to learning and growing from the teachings of Stoicism is a testament to your commitment to your personal evolution and building more authentic and meaningful relationships. If you found value in the ideas shared today, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you won't miss any of our future content that continues to explore practical ways to apply ancient wisdom to our modern lives. Leave a like, share with friends and family who can also benefit, and turn on notifications to be the first to know when new videos are released. Let's go together on this journey of self-discovery and transformation, showing our true value through actions, just as the great Stoics taught us. Until the next video,